requesting that Elizabeth the Ninth, Elizabeth the Ninth.
In 1984, at the close of the Holy Year of Redemption, over 300,000 young people from around the world respond to the invitation of His Holiness Pope John Paul II for an international jubilee of youth on Palm Sunday in South Pepper Square. Looking out to the crowds who answered his invitation, he said, "What a fantastic spectacle is presented on this stage by your gathering here today, who claim that today's youth has lost their sense of values. It is really true that they cannot be counted on. It was at this gathering that the Holy Father entrusted to the youth what is now known as the World Youth Day Cross, to be carried through the world as a symbol of the love of Christ for humanity." The following year brought about a new tradition when the second event and first International World Youth Day took place in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Every Palm Sunday has since been designed as a World Youth Day, alternately celebrated at the diocesan and international levels. The fourth World Youth Day in 1989 was held in Santiago de Compostela in Spain. This is a well-known center of faith in Europe that attracts huge numbers of young pilgrims from all over the world. The sixth World Youth Day in Częstochowa in Poland in 1991 was the first great meeting of young people from Eastern and Western Europe after the fall of the Berlin Wall. The eighth World Youth Day in 1993 left the old continent and went to Denver in the United States. The 10th World Youth Day was held in the Philippines, the country with the highest percentage of Catholics in Asia, and also one of the most expensive in the world. In the closing Mass of World Youth Day in Manila, over 4 million young people were present. "Master, where do you live? Come and see." During World Youth Day in Paris, over 500,000 young people filled the streets of the French capital with joy and fraternity. This edition was marked by several innovations: the inclusion of days in the dioceses, a gathering prior of the week of World Youth Day, and the Youth Festival, a cultural and artistic program seeking to demonstrate the talent of young people in areas such as music or acting. At the end of the homily of the closing Mass, John Paul left the following message: "Dear young people, your path does not end here. Time does not stop today. Go forth now along the roads of the world, along the roads of humanity, staying united in the Church of Christ." The World Youth Day anthem of Rome in 2000 has become one of the most popular ever and has inspired millions of young people around the world. It was also at the World Youth Day in Rome that Pope John Paul II introduced the icon of Our Lady Salus Populi Romani, which remained at the altar in Tor Vergata, where the vigil and Mass took place. This World Youth Day took place in Toronto, Canada in 2002. In the last World Youth Day presided by John Paul II, His Holiness asked the young people again to commit themselves to building a more compassionate and fraternal world. With your faith, hope, and love, with your intelligence, strength, and perseverance, you must humanize the world in which we live. 2005, Cologne, Germany. We have come to worship him. The first World Youth Day presided by Pope Benedict XVI was held in Germany, his native country. In the closing Mass in Marfield, around 1 million pilgrims listened to the Pope, who proclaimed that Jesus is the hour when the love triumphs. You will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, and you will be my witness. Around 500,000 pilgrims from over 200 countries and more than 600 bishops from all over the world participate in the vigil and closing mass of the First World Youth Day in Oceania. In Sydney, Pope Benedict XVI administered the sacrament of confirmation to 24 young people and invited all the participants to bear witness to the faith. With a theme that encouraged young people to remain firm in their faith, World Youth Day Madrid 2011, attended by around 2 million pilgrims, flooded the streets of the Spanish capital with joy and hope, against the backdrop of the European recession. The vigil with the Pope was marked by intense rain, which did not discourage the throng of young people gathered at the Cuatro Vientos airdrome. Go and make disciplines among all nations. The first World Youth Day attended by Pope Francis was held in America, his continent of origin. Over 3 million pilgrims took part in the vigil and closing mass at Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro. In an atmosphere of celebration and prayer, the Holy Father stressed that the gospel is for everyone and not just for some. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Poland, the birthplace of John Paul II, hosted his great international gathering once again. Over 1.5 million young people from all over the world headed to World Youth Day in Krakow. Pope Francis again asked the young people not to become complacent. Dear young people, we didn't come into this world to take it easy, to make our lives a comfortable sofa to fall asleep on. No, we came to another reason, to leave a mark. Behold the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word. The theme of the World Youth Day 2019 in Panama, the first in Central America, coincide with the words of Our Lady to the angel, which lend a highly Marian characteristic to this edition of World Youth Day. In the vigil with the young people, Pope Francis referred to the Virgin Mary as a story's greatest influencer. Mary, the influencer of God.
Dios bendiga, Señor.
Hi, it's me. My name is Anna, and I was part of the World Youth Day of 2023 in Lisbon, Portugal. Yes, I was part of that 500,000 people running around with these t-shirts and just to follow one old man that was the Holy Father Pope Francis. Yeah, sounds crazy, but it was true, and it was like one of the best experiences in my life. Not just for have these cool t-shirts and these cool hats. It's the way that I was in 3 countries, and in Portugal I saw the Pope Francis. I only have 14 years old, and with 14 years old, I walk around the whole day, like 10 hours a day, in Portugal, and in the other countries. I met new people, from other countries and people from my country. Experimented with my group, with my school. If you listen to the Pope Francis, you feel and you know what he's saying, and you understand that he wants the youth with him, and he wants that everyone, the youth, innovate new things for the church and innovate new things for the people, for the community, for the world. And it was like a party. The whole days you see in the streets young people dancing with music of their countries, and they're just be happy, just living their life like nobody else. And you joined us, they joined us, and we joined them to dance, every music, to paint, to show the culture of our countries. And that's the best part, because you start knowing how the others believe, how the others receive the faith. And not just that, it's more than that, because you learn too about the culture of the countries, and you met people. They're so kind and they're so smart too, and they're so good with the others. Like I don't care if you are the other of other country. You're my friend. So you don't need to understand what they're saying, or you don't need to know the language. You know that they are praying. You know that they are talking to Jesus, and that was my best part of the work today in Lisbon. Thank you, and come to South Korea in 2027 because it's going to be very very excited. I am very very excited, and I want to go, and I want that you go with me. Bye.